Okay, a couple of quick changes and a disclaimer here. We're going to start again with a new drawing. And well, it's not a new drawing. I thought I was going to get there, but I had already started just a little bit of this. So won't be much done. And we got to change the whole thing. But the Fishers who AutoCAD lessons, that playlist, which I'll probably change to mention like Fisher Residence playlist at some point. But I am tracking traffic now, and I don't understand if I will lose that if I change the name or not. So I am going to just not worry about that and open up my floor plan. Oh, that's the wrong place though. So this is the actual floor plan. So in the lesson set, let's go there. Here we go, lesson one, and I will open up the finish because start I want it to stay where it is. So you guys have a starting point, and this is where I'll work, and this is where we'll end at the finish. So that's how I'm organizing this. And plotting is affected by view only. This is not affected. It just gives us the title block to look nice in plotting, etc., etc. So what I have done with my mic, since you guys might be hearing me better than previous recording, is I'm using my S8 headset. It currently says that it's at 100%. So I got to keep my eye on that because it did have it die on me once. So if it dies, I will try and hit pause as fast as I can and not do a bunch of dead air. So let's get on to our lesson. I just represented that way. So you probably just heard the phone ring there, and that was Josey Schultz himself. Gave me some details on this. I do have a sketch that Josey had done, just real quick with the homeowner. You can flash back and forth from if you want to pause that, take a look at the quick outline that they did. There's been some changes. So just from that, we are um, going to be switching to a 44 by 44 print that shows 42 width, no depth. So I'm going to assume that there's 4 vents in this thing. Um, it's going to be 20 foot from out to out on the 8 by 8 central corridor, which is what is shown here. So that's that central 20 foot, and that is out to out. Um, we will want to make it well insulated. 812 pitch for the center, and then the minors on the side are a 4 and 12, and then there's this part I don't quite have the details yet, but there's 13 foot by 20 foot, and I don't think that's necessarily footprint, but I guess I'll have to see it as we lay this out, see what we end up with. But there's a second floor on the rear half, like a hayloft. So I think that the width is 14 feet on the garage door, but I do believe that he stated that the height is 14 feet. It's a jack shaft garage door opener. I don't like put openers, but he Justin prefers these. So at any rate, the electric unit hooks directly to the torsion bar, no springs. Um, and so clear story windows are going to be on those sides. That's so we want to. That's why the 12 is to make sure that we got some room in here to do that. Not sure how these eave girts in their placement, and I'm sure that Josie's working that stuff out. He said next week he should have the the sketches done, and then so increase the 15:4 dimension in the initial sketch, which is that center dashed line to 15'6", and then 18 foot is now to the top of the post instead of to the top of what I call a king beam, although this is not necessarily a king beam. So this is holding 2 posts and not a king post. So don't really have an official name for that, so we're going to call it the king beam just as we go through lessons, so you know what I'm talking about. Then the plumb cut rafter on the top. That's 6 inches minimum for the vertical. So instead of coming to a point right here, we're going to go 6 inches up and then go across. And so that's what that means there. So we will get to drawing here shortly. And just going to pull my notes over to the side. I'm ready to start opening drawings. And we'll start with that finish drawing so I don't mess with the start drawing. And then when I save this, it will be what the completed project should look like. In this initial design, I was just kind of offering sort of options on different spans for the bay, and I was going to the center on my measurements. So we're going to change that up a little bit. And since we're going 44 out on the timber frame, we will still have a wall built outside of that. And whether or not it's drywalled and that sort of thing, I don't know yet. So what I do want to do is if I take this line, oh, that's polyline. So I'm going to go XL and then I'm going to go H. I'm going to drop a line in here. Not a very good layer, am I? So let's switch that to a G, and then let's make it different than our dimension line. So here, I'm going to also take that to that layer, and we'll use that for right now. So just slightly brighter. And now I'm going to offset the 12. And I kind of want to, well, it's not inches. Let's see. If I've got 44 out to out, then let's just offset it to 44 feet. And kick that up here. Select the object. Come on. There we go. And I think I only have one. Yes. Okay. So that's going to be our overall out to out length for the framing. So these guys all back in here are irrelevant. So I can get rid of those. I don't know what I just did, but apparently it wasn't erased. So, oh, they might be, no, they're not erased. Okay. So what I guess I kind of need to do here is let's just trim down. I think this distance probably 18. Yep. I'm going to trim this down to there. And then I need to trim it up to here. And then we're going to divide this into 3 pieces so that I can set this at the end where it goes. It's because for 4 segments, we end up with 3 pieces. So div, grab that guy and say 3. And now I've got lines in here, so I can actually copy this, or I can do an XL. I can copy it, just kind of come up and look for there's a point. So there's one, should be one more, that's it. So these pieces here now will move. So we're going to move that. And in this case, it's got to be centered. And this may not, I may get more clarity from Josey because I'm thinking in my head right now that this is not going to make an even spread when I dimension it, but we will see. Let's see how well this was thought through. Let's bring this up, drop it there, and now I can trim the soffit lines back. I can trim all length. Let's just get this stuff out of the way. I don't know what my overhang front and rear is yet, so we're not going to worry too much about that. And then here I had a 6-foot, very large one. I don't need those guys. I don't need that one. So let's put these into where they go and see if we end up with completely equal segments. So of course these two will be. And yeah, this is just becoming kind of a mess. So I'm gonna delete that. Except I don't want to delete that. delete. Now, so I've got 14.8 from center to center there. I got 14.11, 14.4 and 11/16. That is just, there's something really, really wrong. That just 11/16 doesn't make any sense at all to have a 16-inch increment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through. I'm going to delete that line out of there. I'm going to check my overall. My overall is in the Y. Oh, I didn't go all the way up. Overall is 44 feet. Okay. And so let's redraw. Offset 18 inches. Put that line back where it belongs. And then let's trim it there. And, oh, not there. So there. So I'm going to trim that out. I wonder if that was my mistake. I trimmed it the wrong place last time and didn't notice it. So this ends right there. Okay, now I'm going to divide that up and select the object, and then the number of segments is 3 again. And let's just delete this so I can hit those spots without having other things snapping to it. In fact, I've got my dimension style right here. So I'll just kill those off. We'll redimension it. So I'm going to copy here on up to wherever that increment's going to be. Yeah, see, it's off. It didn't hit just on that. And look, I'm going to have a couple probably in here now because I didn't. Oh no, I got rid of my other one. So there's that one. So that looks like it's barely off too. So whatever I did, my error. So let's just pull this straight down to that point. And then we're going to move this one to the same place. Go from that intersection to that one. Now, if I want, I just go up here to my dimension tool, hit my linear, pick my center, the center, and I'm curious as to see if this is a nice number. So we'll get rid of this guy. I'll get rid of that guy. I really don't need that guy. And I don't need that one. So, if we do MA, match properties with our dimensions, style, now I can see I've got 14.4, and that should be the same. So if I mirror around this, it should land exactly. It doesn't. So, oh, because I've had an out to out dimension, but this just needs to be nice, and it's nice. So, center to center, the span changes. So I mirror this one around my new center here, and it should land it perfectly, and it did. So I got 14.4 center to center, 14.8 center to center, and then 14.4. Now, he had mentioned this last piece being about 13 foot. So if I just go back to here, see out to out, it's still 14.4, but it's the closest thing I have in here to 13. So I think that my layout is generally correct, and I'll get a correction from Josey when I stop into his shop tomorrow. So that's our basic footprint, and I left these open to where they could just put changes in here as to what they really wanted, and kind of had the working drawing going. So now that this is where I think that the layout will generally be, except we need to get this down to 40, the same as this. So let's just even throw that on here. I'm going to put it more to let's go here, because they want this dimension. This one they did set. And I don't like them to cross each other, so we'll make sure that doesn't happen down the road here. And then MA, match my property, my rotated dimension to that one, and let's just ensure it's 44 even. So with that being 44 even, I can mirror this guy around there and a 45-degree angle, or just click there. Now I know where I'm going with this side. So I'll stretch it, and I'll get things worked out by centering all this stuff. Boy, this is really basic stuff, but let's show a little bit of it for those of you who are just learning this program. So I'm going to stretch. I came across. So if I choose crossing, then anything I touch gets chosen. And then I deselected this by holding shift and clicking on it. Then I'm going to stretch this outside to there, and that ensures I've got 44 feet out to out. Now, if I take this guy, and let's just extend it back to here, and then I'm going to grab this. This is supposed to be 12 feet. So I'm just going to get rid of this, and then I'm going to offset 12 feet. And that is let's pull that over. Go to my sketch, drag it over, and then, 20 feet, sorry. That is 20 feet for that central piece in there. So my offset distance is going to be 10 feet from the center and 10 feet from there. So offset 120 in inches. That's default for AutoCAD. And look at those hit right on those. Undo. And just use the soft line to move these posts to where they want them. So I'm going to move that from here to there, and then move. I should grab them all. And this is a window select, so I can come down, select all of them, and I even selected that soffit line. And now I'm going to move it from here, and the soffit's going to move with it on this side where I didn't on the other side. So I've moved that over. I can easily do that by selecting this. So I want to again hit enter because I'm doing the same command again. Move, grab all those and that. Now that was a cross. So right to left is a window. So I only got those three. Escape. So move, window. It grabbed that one and grabbed that. You can see them highlighting there. If you can't see those, zoom in a little bit. Highlight, highlight. So that grabbed those. Now hold or I don't hold anything. That's a different program. Now when I cross this way, if I touch it, it selects it. And then I'm going to move it from here. Oops, that one's in the right place. That's what I was all trying to do there. So we're going to move those plus this and this from here out to that 20 feet. And so now when I get these dimensions going correctly, and there's a bit of a mess going on here because of the stuff that's touching here. So let's grab that guy. Let's grab that. And we're going to do an out and just see that I have 20 feet. How did I do this? Put in a blank for these people. So if you look at this, let's just delete it all. So there's nothing there. If I hit the less than and then the greater than, it's going to change right away, so you won't see it. When I hit the greater than symbol, that put in the default actual measure dimension, and then I went ahead of it, so I hit home to get in front of it, and then I hit a bracket, and I probably did spaces, maybe 10 or so, bracket, and then gave a space in between, click outside, and that's how I got that. Looks like I did just 10, but that's how I got that. To give them little spaces to write on. When I print, this does not print my junk layer. The junk layer and the G-label junk layer we were using here is for the drafter. And so all these G layers are for your purposes only. And this guy's out of date. So I did a nice update to this. So I'm gonna scale it all the way down through there, and you can see in my template, I fixed this stuff. And so if I open up my template to make sure I did this, this has been an evolving process forever. And so just back up one, go to my templates, evolving. That's where the latest stuff is, and then open that. So now I can grab this all the way down to that text that I wanted, Control Shift C, and then hit my base as this is sheet to sheet is Control Shift C to copy from a sheet to a sheet. So 0, 0 for my baseline, which is this point right here. And then I don't like my UCS icons on. So hit icon and watch down there by that circle right here. And then I'm going to enter, and then I'm going to say off, enter, and it's gone. So now I'm just left with this, which if I draw a line from 0, 0, enter, you can see it comes out of the center of that circle. So I've got this copied. It's sitting in my clipboard. And now I come out here and I go Control V. Now I want it in the same font, 0, 0, and enter. And there she is. So this brought in, all it really did was brought my extras up to date. And so there's going to be some extras in my layers. There will be a few extras in here that can be removed. Actually, it looks correct. So it should be fine. Either way, no expense. You can delete this if you're confident that, or if you don't worry about the layers that I'm using. It keeps you from accidentally purging that out. So I'm going to save that. And now I don't need my template anymore. So no to any changes. And then I'm going to open, and I got to go back to, see, I didn't save this path. So let's show this from the beginning. So here, come down to my barn, and then my AutoCAD stuff, and then my lessons will be here. So it'll be lesson 1, lesson 2, 3, 4, 5. So while I'm in this one, let's make it a handy dandy place to get back and forth. Add current folder to places. Bing, there it is. I like it down below my details. This is the one I'm working on now, bouncing in and out of. These are other projects that are stuff that are on the urgent list. So in AutoCAD, I do another one that's in Chief. That's also on the urgent list. So I am going to now click in here, and then I'm going to go to my working drawing. Again, I want to work in the finished one, so any changes I make, I save for you guys to view. Only my external references. There's a whole thing. Either go to the Fisher residence or go to I think it might even be in Augsburg, but it certainly is in Tech. Tech is probably the best place to look at learning about extras. So I'm going to pause and fix this. Now we've got this drawing with the correct extra in it. So need to make some corrections here. And on my side, I'll give you guys another quick glance. And I guess when I do this, just take a look at I must have closed it. I'll find it and open it. So as a quick reminder, this is the sketch. We're going to make the post 18 feet. We're going to have this, at least this one will have the 6-inch, I guess you call it almost a heel, but just a plumb cut rise on the end of this rafter. And then I don't know if we're doing it here as well. So we'll find out. I will use these dimensions, 812, 412, and just kind of basically line it out like this with the 4-inch slab. And of course, at these locations, we will have thickened footings. So that's what we're after. And then I have notes to the side as well to change some of those dimensions that we worked on. Like the 44 that's up here would be one of those things. So this is set up for the story pole. And I do 2 story poles for them. They could see 612, they could see 812. They got 6 here and 8 here. So I didn't do any 4. So I also did, I had these coming out to create the roof, and that's not what they want. They want it all to be within. So here, what's my distance? 3. So once that's 6, then this would be placed about right. My 812 is correct. So let's just take this guy and let's change it to read 4. And then we need to change these to a 412 pitch. So if I take and I offset 4, bring that there. And if I just take this up, that is now a 4 and 12. And so if I want to stay with this color, if I want to move to this color, whatever I'm doing for that lower pitch, I can plan it off this. So I can just grab that line, bring it to there, this one to here, or draw a new line between the two. Oops. And then that's my pitch. So this isn't going to do me any good. And we'll see what I need out of this. Down here, I had 10-foot pre-cuts, and they are looking at having that be around 9'11" to here. So a bit lower than what I've got drawn. So let's get that straightened out. Maybe I'll put an 8-foot pre-cut in there and see where we end up at. Although if Josey's got it set to where he wants to just work with even dimensions, I'm good with that. And they can cut some studs. We see how close it is using theirs if we're going to put a studs wall on the outside of this to show off the timber frame, which I'm assuming he wants to do. It's not cheap. So while I was thinking about it, I went ahead and I threw this sketch into the file for the lesson. So you got two monitors, you can have that sketch to refer to. But for my purposes, I just gotta kind of rock through this. So I'm gonna see. I've been changing these up because anywhere I've got these 2x members, the X is best in these 2x members using my color 60. And so up here, there's a double. Oh, these got exploded. So if what you're gonna see is I'll just be looking to see if these are right. And if it is right, then it'll look like this, that color. So if I don't see that color, I know it's wrong. So I've got blocks already made for the simple 2x4 and the double 2x4. I don't need any of that. This is probably going to move. Well, I know it's going to move. So what I have is they want to do an 8x8 member here. I had nominal lumber there, and they want to set that according to this. My line here should be at 9'3". So it's not really a plate because it's a timber frame, but just for now, I'm not going to change the note. But I am going to make this say 9'3". And I would get that by measuring, or in this case, from this dimension. So for this guy, let's just delete it. And then offset this 9'3". That's my line at the bottom, which is my top of the slab. And if I want to keep track of it, I'll set 4. So I just visual representation that this is at that point. So I'm going to move this guy, this line from there to there. And it went 9'3", and oh, it jumped up to here. So I'm going to move previous from there to there. And I get a 9'3". Why did this change automatically? Because it's associated to this line. So that's the top of my post. That is at this location. So let's make sure we're on the junk layer for our own CAD lines. So XL, vertical, we'll drop one there and there. Let's come down, and we're right on it. So that's in good shape. Then let's go back to our floor plan and finish what we had there. Because here, I need this to be 12 feet from here to here, or 20 feet, sorry, and centered on this guy. And we drew it that way. So we know that's good. And then it'll give me my dimensions for the rest of this stuff. So if I'm going to go to the next center to center on this post, it'll be 10 feet. Would be centered to center. I'm looking at their sketch. That needs to be 12. So we're off here by 2 feet. So if I take and stretch this whole thing out, hopefully, yes, it will take the red lines with it. 12, oh, sorry. Let's just go 24 inches, 2 feet. Now, come down, I've got my 12 feet center to center, which is on their drawings drawn out to out. Same thing. So here, I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to mirror this about this center to get its location. And now I can stretch, getting closer where you can see. I'm going to cut up through here. So watch this cut line and stretch that from here to here. Some of you may find some difficulties with that. I had my program operating kind of funky. And if I zoomed in or out during the stretch move, it would drop the stretch command. That seems to have corrected its own issue. Oh, 7 days till I expire. A little concerned about this warning, but I'm getting my subscription through a third party. Save money, and I have a call-in to AutoCAD for any help. So write me if you want to know about that. It's great because you can't even email AutoCAD and get a response. So now that that's laid out properly, I'm going to hit save. So it's going to ask me to update in my working drawing. XREF was modified, update it, and now I have this information. So I'm located incorrectly. I have the incorrect pitch. And we're not doing an overhang. So I'm just going to drop that. So my only line that's correct at this point is this. And we're going to move all this stuff. So I'm going to stretch. How's that looking? That's pretty close. So it's going to need to stretch a little. So I'm going to stretch this independent. That's how I was checking there. I'm going to stretch my story pole and grab that post, but I don't want to move this. Oh, yes, I do. I'm going to grab those, and I'm going to go from here to here. And it should have brought those over, which it did. So if I want to verify that, I can move these, and the zoom took those out of the selection set. But it did move what I wanted down here. And yeah, you can see there's some funkiness to my story pole here, and I've only got one line, so this looks like it's in the right place. So if I take this and copy it from here to here, oh, I see what happened. It's all of these elevation markers didn't move, so I'm just gonna move them independently. So move, select them. I want the text will stay because it moved for some reason. And the elevation markers is all that did not. Grab those guys by windowing them. And then I can bring it from here to here. And I've got my story pole back. Intact, incorrect, but intact. So this is 9'3". So we're going to move this and all of this from this location to this location. So that's our 9'3". So what I want to do is I'm going to drop a 9-footer in here for a pre-cut. And first I'm going to take this. I'm going to move it. Just this stuff. We're going to bring it over here. Now I need to switch layers, and I can either go to the D-object layer to create it, or a great place to create blocks is on your 0 layer. So I'll put it on 0, and I'll show you what we're doing here. We're going to explode this. I want to fix the line colors. That guy, and these guys down here. Now, one way to fix them is to just go ahead and change all those to 60. The other way to fix them is to insert the actual block that I'm after. And so if I go to my blocks, or insert blocks, or I want to go to my library, and I'm going to go, well, it's already here. I would have gone to blocks, evolving, then I'd go to dimension or structural, then dimensional lumber, and then I would find a 2x6, and I need one that's horizontal. So that's what I'm after there. I say open. And now I don't know how to fix this. If anybody knows, please fix me. But it doesn't just come in with my cursor like it used to in the old days. So I'm going to move that from here down to here. Then I'll move both of these from here to here and delete that one. So now I can take this, copy it over to here, and then copy it again from there, there. And then I can block this W for a world block, which means I'm saving it out to a file. And I want to save it to this dimensional lumber file. So it looks like it's in the right place. Just double check. In fact, I can go in here and I can say, look for my double DBL 2x6 horizontal. And that may already be correct, but we're going to save to that. We're going to pick this point. We're going to select these objects. Okay. Now, anywhere that existed as a double, which it didn't, this was exploded, then I would have, oops, I want to move all of this from here to here, erase this. Now we're going to double block, or sorry, W block this guy. If I go into another drawing, so I'm going to go open another drawing, we're going to grab something out of there. So let me go find it, open it, and then so I'm at the main house for this same couple, and, or I should say family. And in here, doesn't look like much. There's just a blue line added to this. But if I do REA, then you can see it's an insulation patch or line. So I'm going to from, let's use a nice, easy to define point. Oh, it didn't grab it. I'm not sure what I had grabbed down there, so let's just grab it again. Come in, Control Shift C, pick that point, go to my other drawing, zoom in, Control V, and that's a 10-footer with that drawn in there. And I like that. And now, when we W block this out, every time I bring one of those in, it'll have insulation. If I don't want it, I can erase it. But if I want it, it's already in there and it's got these two lengths in there so you can still read the text. So I'm going to pick my point. I tend to stay with this point. I'm going to select my objects there. And then I'm going to say I need to go to a 2x6 pre-cut 10-foot with studs. And so I'm going to click on that and say save. I'm on the 0 block layer when I replace the existing block. So now I click on that and you can see I'm on the 0 layer. So kind of a nice way to do blocks, but you can't control them as well if you want to turn them off. So once you bring in a block, the nice thing about creating it on the 0 is it's on the 0, but whatever layer you drop it into, it will take on those properties. So that's why I do that. Now, I don't need this size for this drawing. Fix that one too. Notice, change those. It updated the block. So this is now fixed in my collection. Sorry. Let's get rid of it. But what I need, and let's see if it's right. So I'm going to insert, or just come here. The other way would be to hit the insert here. And then if it's already there, there's a 2x6 8-foot precut. And so I can bring that in and drop it. And it's got the wrong color. So we can change that. We can bring in the insulation. I can do the same process. But let's not worry about that now. I can do that on my own time. So what I want is to see, is there a 9-foot? There's not in here. But I can go to Blocks from Libraries, which this flyout's great. Hit the library, come down. I want the 9-foot. Then I'm going to hit open, and I'm going to probably have the same issue. Yeah, this guy never comes with me. I don't know why that is. So here I've got the issue with this guy and this guy. So I'm going to bring in insulation. I'm going to change the colors. I'm going to reblock these, save them out, and then we'll have these to play with. So I will pause, get that done, and come back. So that being done, let's play with these and see what we got. So I'm going to move this one over near here. And I grabbed it funny, so I'm going to move it again from there to there. See how it looks. And you can see it's not quite perfect, but I wonder if that just happens to be, no, it's not an inch and a half. So we're going to go exactly 9.3. I'm just going to let them know what's going on here. And if you'd like me to give them something quick to trace over, then I certainly can do that for them. Or we'll get the studs. But a 10-foot stud. Yeah, and it would actually go up to here. So let's, that kind of, that does change things a bit. So maybe if I do put this over here, what happens? I'm going to put it on the inside because it's just, yeah, look at that. They are probably within like, might be perfect. Yeah, it is. So he set that height to be for these 10-foots. So that's good. So it is using a pre-cut on the exterior. But that was to set a floor system on. And in this case, we're not doing that. We are putting that 8x8 piece there. So now that I have this in position, I'm going to trim it back to the actual timber frame point. I don't know my overhang yet, so I'll just extend this out. Then I can get rid of that. I can offset this. And if I only offset at 8, I don't get there. So I think that's where my issue is coming from. I'm not getting to this plate. So the distance from there to there is 9'3". So I can't use 9-foot pre-cuts. I could cut them down and fit them under here, but we'll work this whole thing out before let's just go with Josey's drawing first. So those are in place. Now I'm going to copy this from here. I have corrected the location for where that's supposed to be, that's supposed to be, and that is supposed to be. So now we can move all this stuff. An 812 down here doesn't do us any good. There will be an 812 up here. So, and I will leave that decorative corbel in its place for right now. And let's trim, actually I want to trim back to only there. Because that is that 8-inch piece which exists on both sides. And then we just got to trim it out of the middle. So let's check my properties, make sure I grab it at 0.01. Sometimes she'll snap on you. So let's just do an undo, bring this one, and if you really want to get it right, XL, vertical, drop it in, and then trim it. And then get rid of your vertical. Now, both these lines should be exactly 0. So, that being fixed, and we have a space up here. How do they want this to work? I'm just going to kind of draw what they've got, and then we'll change it as needed. So, this guy, and like, no, that's not even going to completely work out. So, I'm going to move it with it, because I want to keep this pitch. I don't know where this is landing yet, so we got to get our heights going. So for right now, I'm going to preserve it. I'm not interested in that, but let's take, those can be trimmed back too. So let's take those and my timber, and I believe there's going to be a line hidden down in there. Yeah. So we're going to take all this together, and I'm going to move it from this location. My text is in the way, to this location, so that when I that one. Let's move that from there to here as well. I don't know what's hidden under here. So let's get rid of that X line, delete it. Okay, that goes nice and high. Okay, this X line and delete it. Now, if I look at that guy, it ends there. This is exploded, it ends there. So this is its own little box. And that's because on my initial sketch, I didn't have a pre-cut being used from there. So I gotta fix this side. What's this? This is a quick one. Let's just move that from there to there, and then I can get rid of these. Oh, I don't want to do it there. I don't know something hidden back there. Just get up and out of the way. There it was. So those go full height, and I don't know what's going on with the floor yet, but I know it doesn't cut that. It may be in between it. We'll see when we get to that portion. Oh, is that right? Yeah, no, really. I just want to make sure I get these. So here, this runs through on both ends. So let's just get rid of this line, delete it. And then we're going to trim out between here and here this. So now my timber frame is coming together. The frame itself, the center line, let's just check it. XLV, put it there, not there. And I'm drawing on the 0 layers, the junk layer. And it just to have white. This is just a color I'm so familiar with now. I know I'm drawing on my own layer when I can see that color. So we do have the need for 412 down here. So we're going to move this from here. And the way they've got it designed is that he wanted me to place this here and then go up 6 inches. So I'm just going to put the delineation up here somewhere. And then I'm going to copy this from here down to the top of here. And then what is this? Oh, I didn't get it right, but let's just see what this distance is. Not much. So I'm going to put a 2 1/8 vertical. I guess the kind of best way to terminology for what I can think of is to put a heel there at the outside of that timber. And then this I should be able to get rid of. And this I should be able to get rid of. There it is. Okay. And then this beam sits on top of it. And where my floor sits, nobody knows yet. So let's just keep it. So I don't even care if this is straight. All I want is to keep that information. So this, I believe, is 11 7/8. And we're going to make it probably even 12. It's not even that. It's some weird number. So let's just get rid of this. It's going to throw us off. So now I've got this small heel allowing me to put a bird's mouth in here, or if we use a truss, parallel cord truss up here, this would end up here. Now what's my next piece? This is getting close to 6. It's almost 4. So we'll look at this one up here being the 6 that he definitely told me he wanted. And this I will leave where it's at this very moment. And we'll see how this works with Josey's plan. So this is going to come out. And then this is an 8 by 10. So I'm going to offset 10 inches. And then I need to trim it back. And then trim it back here. So that is what my frame looks like. And do I need that? Delete it. I don't. But I'm going to undo. Because I do want to keep a line around. And I can put one back in easy enough. But let's just keep that there. I don't like doubling up. Because then if I do want to delete something, it won't go away. So that is set. This is looking pretty good. This has my decorative corbel on it. My heights are all off and wacky, but we're just going to kill that. We're going to delete it. So E, and then we're going to move this out. I'm going to move this into position. Get up close because something looked like it was bleeding through from back there, but then we're going to erase this, and we're starting to get what we need here. I do need to extend this up once we get the height of this. So what he has shown on here is that he wanted this 18-foot for our conversation to be the top of the post. Then I'll put an 8 by 12 on top of that. So I'm going to go 18 feet off of post, and then we will put the 8 by 12 on top of that. 18 feet, and let's determine. So there's our, oops, I don't know why that erased. Offset 18 feet. Enter. Okay. Sheesh. Trim, and or I can stretch. So let's stretch so this plate comes down. I'm going to stretch that. I'm going to drop that for now. And I'm going to stretch it so that this bearing is down here. And this will have to be corrected. We'll get into that in just a moment. So now this line can go away. And I can, well, I'm not going to extend it yet because he wants this to be 6 inches up. So this line comes up 6. So if I offset 6 there, and then I chamfer that line, that guy. And these, I don't like the blue. We're just gonna make sure they're gone. So this just kind of reminding me, hey, you need to put a plate in here. And like I said, I like stuff to be one line and not multiples or a short line. But since I haven't got track of this yet, I'm going to chamfer this with the distance 0. And that's my 6 inches right there. How is this hitting? Gosh, it looks close. It's off a little bit. So let's remove this line and make sure we got it. Dot lines are hard to grab from there. I'm going to move it up to there. So now that should be perfect. And that is this line. So one of these was associated to it. The other was not. And so I just got to come into the one that was not, bring it up there, and I'll start to get how these dimensions are working out for this part of the wall. Onto my story pole. I have my 8 and 12, that's good. I have my 4 and 12 right here, that's good. I don't have any idea what this distance is yet, because I don't know what the insulation values that Mr. Fisher would like. So I'm going to move this, because it's at the right pitch. And this to be on that 6 inch is where I want it. And then the size of this is supposed to be an 8 by 12, so I must set 12. And you guys might be saying, hey, we're using true 8s and true 12s. Well, it's because this is a timber frame, and the manufacturer that we're getting this stuff through, it actually is a true 12. Now, yeah, this is not sitting. Okay, I'm starting to lose a little of a bit of information here. So let's get an elevation in here that makes sense, because this level is spelled out as 18 feet. So if I move, this won't be top of plate, it'll be top of that king beam. So we have that plate symbol down here preserved. So top of roof, that's not good. Let's move this guy along with this line to our 12-foot point, that one. So we're going to move it from here to here. And what I can do with that is, I'll go ahead and lay that there for now. But what I'm interested in is seeing if in my story pole, not really my story pole, this is like a fake dimension. This is something to figure things out for right now. Let's come all the way down, and that should be 18. It's not. It's 18.4. So that's 6 inches. So somehow I managed to throw this whole thing off. So off 18 feet. And let's see where our mistake's at. And I'm going to say that this is that line. I got 2 of them. So that is 18 feet. So when I dimensioned it here, I thought that was 6 inches different, but it's, yeah, 1710. Oh, I missed down here. That's what's throwing me. I missed. So now I got 18 feet. So I've proven the height that I want. And I have my 6-inch jog. So this, let's just kind of keep it, but keep noting that it's not part of our structure. And this was the offset of 12. So if I just do a distance from here to here, it is 1 foot. So that's our 8 by 12 at that location. So that means he's probably going to come in. Oh, no, this is off. I'll show you why. If we look at our drawing, bring it over, come on. It's 18, then the 12, and then he wants me to add the 6 inches here. That's a quick, easy fix. So all I do is take all of this, that, and this, and what's associated with it. And we're going to move it from here up. That was, oh, and let's verify that. Oh, did I close it? Why do I keep accidentally closing that sucker? There's our drawing. Okay. 10 to 12. That's that. 12. That's there. So that distance is 18 to here. And I have my 12-inch beam. And I need my 6-inch rise. So this was the 6 inches, yes. So we're going to extend this. Let's see if this is 6. Should be. It is. Okay. All we need to do is extend that to there. And then we can trim this one out. And that is our rafter. And then this isn't sitting correctly. But I don't even know how this is going yet. Because we got to insulate this place. All that jazz. So for the moment, let's just, oh, I mirrored it. I didn't move it. Move it out of the way. And then we can also just move that up because it is going to be higher, whatever we end up doing. But it's easy to keep track of. Keep it sort of straight. So now my timber frame is starting to look like a timber frame. There is a different type of joint that Josey uses up here. That's not top here. So this guy I can delete. And then I can trim this down to here on this side. And I'll chamfer this to here for now. Chamfer that there, but I need to extend it there. Now, when I mirror this around, it'll tell me where I need to extend it up to. So I'm just going to mirror the actual members around the center. This will give me my ridge. Chamfering those and those. And then this, chamfer that, do that. So that is how I get this stuff going pretty quickly. And we'll bring that around. I would have finished this whole side out, then do it, bring it across. I'm just gonna add some detail to this, and then I'll be back. Or actually, this is kind of what we said we were gonna do. So here, I need to show that this joint goes like this. I need to throw in my purlins. I'll guess where these are. He's got some dimension, 3 or 3.6, something in here that makes sense. I'm understanding this, the eave girt here, because he said he wanted to put windows in here, and the eave girt's most likely going to go all the way along, so there would be very little room to put windows in. So I need to probably discuss that with Josey before we set that into motion. But he's also, oh, excuse me, getting a more finalized drawing. So that will do it for this video. And goodness, I hope I have better sound.